So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up and run Snapchat ads effectively in 2024. Now, this is going to be a full inclusive tutorial showing you every step of the process of creating your first ad on the platform, making it go live, and then I'm going to show you some different settings, some features, things that you need to know for running ads on this platform. Now, I think it's to be said that running ads on Snapchat can be one of the best things you could do for your business. Now, there's different types of platforms. We have Google and TikTok and Facebook ads and Instagram ads, but Snapchat is one that I think is really overlooked. There are hundreds of millions of active users. I think there's about 800 million monthly active users on Snapchat. That's about a tenth of the world's population uses Snapchat every single month, and daily active users is something like 400 million. So there's a lot of people who use it, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through this process. I'll leave a link to Snapchat ads down below if you want to follow along in this tutorial. And when you use that link below, you'll also have this option to get some ad credits from Snapchat when you are running ads on the platform. So right now the offer is spend $350 and get $375 in ad credits from Snapchat. That is subject to change. I don't know when they're going to change that, if they're going to do some things there, but you can just check out the link below in the description to see what the current offer is and follow along in this video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this. Feel free to skip around as well, but I would recommend sticking through all of it, maybe even taking out a pen and a piece of paper and jotting down some notes as we go through here. So let's first of all start off with creating our ad for Snapchat. All right, so I'm just going to click on create an ad, and what we're going to have to do is enter in some information. I'm going to kind of breeze through some of this because a lot of this is self-explanatory in this step, but let's input our business name. So for this example, I'm going to say that maybe it's Santrel Law, right? And so this is going to be our law firm that helps people if they get in a car accident or something. Maybe we can be defense attorneys for them. This is just an example, by the way. I'm not actually an attorney. And so let me go ahead and put in my email here and create a password. All right, and now I'm just going to create my profile for Snapchat and enter my website. And when you enter in your website, if you have one already, it's going to help to import your brand assets. If you don't have a site set up right now, or you just don't like your site, don't worry, you can skip this if you would like to. They just kind of want to help you out a little bit if you already have something set up. So we're going to create our account here. And now we're getting into the fun part, which is into the actual ads platform. So now what we're doing is they're just helping us to create a profile. So I recommend keeping this congruent with your brand. And so for this, they just pulled an image from our website, but I'm actually going to change that and I'm going to upload a different one. So I'm going to upload this photo here and I'll say Philly's #1 law firm and click confirm. Okay, so we're just adding a few more business details here, like our phone number, and then we can click on next. You can also uncheck this box if you don't want emails from Snapchat. I actually would recommend keeping it checked though, because they will offer to have some support, and like if you have issues with running ads, you have to remember that Snapchat, they want you to run ads on their platform. They make money when you run ads on the platform, so they want you to be successful. They want you to get customers and to grow your business, because it's kind of, you're on the same team in a way. So yeah, so you can leave this box checked if you would like, and then click on next. Okay, and then we have this really cool offer where if we spend $350, we get $375 in ad credits from Snapchat. This is just a way for them to try to incentivize you to stick with it, because the truth is that when you're running ads, paid ads, it does take some time. Like your first ad that you create on the first week, it might not be as successful and convert as many customers as you would like it to. And that's just because that's the way that advertisements work. Snapchat, they understand this. That's why they're giving you some ad credits to get started, to kind of like help incentivize you there. And so you can either do the spend $50 to get $75 in ad credits, or spend $350 to get $375. I would recommend doing the $350 to get $375. But for this example, I'm going to do the $50 to get $75. You can read the small print down here, and you'll notice that if you don't actually get that spend amount within 14 days, then you're not going to get that like option there. So let's say that you only spend 200, then you wouldn't get the full amount there. So it's kind of all or nothing on either of these. So you can decide between the two, depends on your budget for your business. And then I'm going to click on next. Okay, and then we have two different options. We have instant create or advanced create for our ads. Now, I'm going to choose the advanced create option. Instant create is great if you literally just want to get something out right now, and you can toggle with it later. You can always go to like the advanced settings, but we're just going to start off with advanced create right off the bat to get started with this. Okay, so now what we're doing is building our first campaign. So one of the first things that we're gonna have to do is figure out what our objective is. So we're selecting our objective for creating this ad. So there's a couple of different options. We have awareness, we have consideration, and we have conversions. So for example, if we have a law firm that is advertising in Philadelphia, maybe our goal is to just raise awareness and just have everybody know our law firm, right? And so we might go with that option as our objective. Now, perhaps maybe you have a power washing business and you just want to generate leads, or like you have a landscaping business and you want to generate leads, you want people to enter their phone number, and you can get lead generation like that. Now, you want to pick one of these. It's okay if you like pick the wrong one, or if you can't fully decide which one you want to do. You can always go back, create new campaigns. It's not the end of the world. So just decide between all of these what your primary goal is. Is it app installs for your new app that you created, or website conversions, or lead generation? And so, for this, actually, I'm going to say that for our law firm, our goal is lead generation, right? We want people to submit some type of info so that we can reach out to them and hopefully bring them on as a client. Okay, so for lead generation, we can change the campaign name as well. Let's just say that we'll say first lead generation campaign, just so we don't get too confused, as we're going to set up probably more campaigns in the future. And then we have this status as active, and then we can create split tests as well. Now, for right now, I'm not going to create a split test. You're going to notice, and we have a lot of videos on how to run marketing on this channel, but split testing, also people call it A/B testing, is really important when running ads. So if you're going to get anything out of this video, I want you to just get this one little bit that I'm about to say here, okay? Is that the first ad that you create, don't spend too much time trying to make it the perfect ad, because the truth is that the best way to run paid ads is to just put something out there and then start to modify it slightly and run split tests or A/B tests with that ad, where you slightly modify it, you run both of those ads at the same time, you see which one performs better. Then you take the one that performed better and you slightly modify it again, and then you run those two and you see which one performs better. And you just incrementally over time, over the weeks, start to incrementally improve the quality of your ad, even if it's only 5 or 10% better every time, to the point where a couple months later, you have the perfect ad that converts super well, right? I've seen people blow tons of money, like they'll spend $50,000 trying to create the perfect first ad, and it flops, and they just wasted all that money trying to create the perfect one. So that's what I would suggest doing, is running split tests. For this right now, for this example, I'm not going to do that. We're going to start, choose a start date. We can just have that start immediately right now, or we could have it perhaps let's say I want to have it start on Saturday at, not at midnight. Maybe I want this at noon on Saturday. And then I also would recommend setting an end date, just to make sure, because I've made this mistake in the past where I forgot to set an end date and then I got logged out and I don't remember what happened. I forgot my password or something, and then it was just continuously spending money on my credit card. So I would just set an arbitrary end date. Make sure that this is at least a week. Something else you need to keep in mind is that when you're running ads, you really do want to be able to test it fully. So at least 4, 5, 6 days running this ad before you can really make any deductions from that. So for this, I'm just going to say I don't want to run this indefinitely. I'm just going to say I want to have the end date maybe like the end of September, right? So it's going to run for basically all of September here, is what the ad will run at. Now, the daily spend cap and also the lifetime spend cap, obviously this is something that you want to take into consideration so that you're not spending $1 million a day on Snapchat ads. If you are running a landscaping business or something, you probably shouldn't be spending that much money. You want to keep this a sustainable amount. So our daily spend cap, I do recommend, you don't want to set this too low, because if you only want to spend $3 a day on ads, you're not really going to reach that many people. I'm going to say that I want my daily spend cap to, maybe I want this to be $250, right? Which comes out to actually, what is that? It's like seven, eight, some $1,000s or so. That's like $7,500 per month, which can be a lot. But if you're doing well as a company, then that could be not too bad. And then lifetime spend cap as well. I'm not actually going to put this on here. I just want a daily spend cap there. So now I'm going to click on next. And now we're creating our ad set here. So this is where it gets a little bit more into detail here. So we can have a Snap Pixel created here and a Snap app ID tracking. So I would recommend definitely setting up Snap Pixel and Snap App ID tracking. And you're going to notice over here on the right-hand side that we have the ad set estimates. Basically, what is our target audience size based off of the criteria of like the type of people that we're trying to market our product to. So you always want to have a target market. You always want to think about who is your ideal customer, who's likely buying from you. In a lot of cases, you should already know that before you start running ads. Sometimes it can be the opposite though, where you run ads and then you find out who's actually most interested in buying your product. But we probably will want to get this down quite a bit because for this example, we're saying that we are like a law firm in Philadelphia. We don't want to be running Snapchat ads in Colorado for a Philadelphia law firm. So we're gonna have to go down and fix that as we go through here. Now you're gonna see budget and schedule as well. On the last page, we were just looking at kind of lifetime and daily caps on some of those spend. Here we're actually looking at specific budget for this actual ad set and campaign. Okay, so for budget, I'm going to say that my budget, I would recommend keeping this at least $30 a day at a minimum for your daily budget, just because if it's too low, you're not going to get enough data to actually be able to decipher anything from that. So I'm actually going to leave my daily budget at $50. You can also change this if you want this to be a lifetime budget. But I'm going to leave it at $50 running August 31st to September 30th. I'm just going to have that end date there just in case I forget about it or something. I like to have an end date set in place there. And then our goal is going to be leads. But you can also change this to clicks or even just story opens, like if you have a story ad that you want to be running, or things like website conversions as well. But I'm going to keep it as leads. And then we have basically determining how we are paying for these ads and how much we're paying for them. Okay, so we have two options. We have auto bid or we have max bid. Now auto bid is what Snapchat recommends for you to do, but max bid, I would only do this if you are really like your cap of how much you're willing to spend per lead. So let's say that you are a landscaping company and you know that if you're spending more than $80 per lead, then it's not worth it and you're losing money. So you could put that in there, but I wouldn't really recommend doing that because it's gonna mess, like it's better to just let Snapchat determine how much or how low of a cost you can get a lead for. So I would not set max bid right now. I would just go with auto bid and let them help you with this, and you'll learn a lot about your ads and also the cost of running ads on Snapchat and getting leads. You can always go back in and change that max bid setting later on as you learn more about running ads on the platform. Okay, and then we also have automatic placements, or we can edit placements with our ads. So we can decide specifically where we want these ads to be placed, if they're in between creator stories, if they're in the Discover feed, if they're all over the place. So we have all these different options. I would also, once again, let Snapchat determine where to place your ads on the platform, at least initially, and you can get that data. You can see where they're performing best, and maybe you can go in and change that in future ad sets later on, maybe a few weeks from now or a few months from now. But right now, our whole goal of this when setting up our campaign is just to learn about what's working, what's not working, what's converting for you. That's really the goal of this here. Okay, so now because we are a law firm based in Philadelphia, I'm only going to want to run ads on Snapchat. Let's say maybe not just in Philadelphia, but maybe like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, in those areas, right? So let's say Pennsylvania, and you can see over here on the right-hand side that suddenly my target audience size went from about 100 million down to 5 million. And so that's something that is actually good to see because it means that we're getting more specific. But also, I want you to be aware that I would not recommend reducing your target audience size if you don't have to. And the reason for this is because as your target audience size gets smaller, it's going to get more expensive to run ads because it's more competitive. So, for example, if I wanted to run ads specifically to like 23-year-olds who live in Philadelphia and make $100,000 a year and are female, right? Like that specific group is, like it's so specific that it's going to end up costing you more to run ads. So if you don't have to be specific, then feel free to be a little bit more broad, is what I'm saying, because it does get more expensive there. Okay, so let's also say maybe I want like New Jersey in that as well. So we have about 8.2 million people right there, and that's going to be our general region. We can also target locations on the map as well if we would like to, if we want to like circle things and have very specific areas like that. And then also, do we have age restrictions required? Like, are we promoting something that you'll have to be 18 or 21 in order to do. So that's pretty self-explanatory in that category. And then also choosing your ages that you are targeting. Look, I'm probably not going to run ads for people under 18 because they're probably not going to be suing people. So I'm going to keep it at 18 here for this. And that will once again reduce our target audience size a little bit, but it just doesn't make sense for our law firm to be running ads to 13-year-olds. And then also genders as well. We could say just male, just female, right? You're going to see how that changes the ad set up there. And then also languages. Maybe I want English. And also, I would not overlook running ads in different languages, especially Spanish in the United States. There are so many Spanish-speaking, native Spanish speakers in the United States where it can really make sense. I mean, I even see billboards sometimes when I'm driving down the road that are fully in Spanish, and those could convert pretty well. So for now, I'm just going to stick with English though right now. Okay, and then also we have things like advanced demographics where we can actually sort by household income. So let's say that you wanted to only run your ad to someone who makes more than $100,000 a year, or maybe less than $50,000 a year. You could choose between that. Now, this is where running ads will get more expensive. Like, you will pay more per lead when you are saying something very specific here. So like, let's say we want someone $200,000 or more. Now suddenly our ad set estimate just dropped significantly to 270,000. Before, without having that check there, it was 6.6 million. So I would only do this if it's really, really important to your company to be doing that. Otherwise, I would not leave it checked. Okay, and then also we have like options for lifestyles, right? So we want people who are really into, like party people, right? Or crypto enthusiasts. Snapchat knows a lot about their users. They know what ads people are clicking on. They know what things people are interested in, what types of Snapchat shows people are watching. So once again, though, if you do choose any of these, it's going to end up costing you more per lead, more per conversion when you're doing this. So because for a law firm, we're kind of agnostic with that, I think we're just going to leave that blank there. And then we can also have the option to expand audience automatically. I'm actually going to uncheck this because we are a very specifically like focused on Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So I don't want them to automatically expand our audience to like someone in California. That doesn't really make sense for us. Okay, and then also for devices, iOS, Android, web, these are all totally fine. I don't know the breakdown of people who use iPhones versus Android in the United States, but it is pretty broad. So this is really only important if you have an app that's only on iOS, or maybe you have like a mobile app that's only on Android. That's when this is going to be important. For me, though, this doesn't matter at all. Also, things like carriers as well you can choose from, but we're not going to have to do that. Okay, and then we have the delivery options set at active, which is something that you're going to want to keep set up so that your ad is actually running and ready to go. Okay, so now we're just going to go down and click on next in the bottom right corner. And now we're going to start actually creating our first ad. So let's go ahead and name our ad here. Let's just call it, once again, let's say Philly's #1 law firm. And this is our public profile. This is how it's going to show up on the actual ad. So this is what we created earlier in one of the first steps. We created our public profile. I uploaded our logo and our name and our bio there, right? And so our brand name is already here. But if you wanted to replace that, you could do that right there. And now what we're doing is creating our first ad here, right? So we can actually have AI inside of the ads platform help to create some headlines. So let's just see what they come up with here, right? Like let's say law firm in Philly. Let's click generate and see what they come up with. Philly's premier law firm. Maybe we like that. So we can just click apply there. And that is the headline there for us. And then do we want this to be shareable? Yes, of course, because, sometimes some of the best leads can come from, maybe someone's daughter gets an ad and says, hey, you know what, my mom was in a car accident last week. Maybe I should send this to her, and maybe she will connect with this law firm. So sometimes it can actually be really useful to have it be a shareable ad that you have set up there. Okay, and then we can also upload any type of videos or photos here if we would like to, or browse from anything that we've posted on our company Snapchat before. So from our saved stories, our public stories, our spotlights, collaborations, we can choose from that to put into the ad. And then also we have the option to post to our profile publicly if we would like to put that ad out there. Just kind of like have it on the profile. So we can also change the color of the button as well. So if we want this to be white or blue, right now it's blue because that is our company logo colors. You can see it matches with the blue, the shade of blue that is in our logo. I actually like it when it's white, so I'm going to keep it that way. Okay, so we have a black screen here for our ad. We want to upload one of our ads that maybe we've created somewhere else onto here. So what I recommend doing is we can either upload an existing ad, we can browse from maybe some media files or stories that we've already created, and so we can just put those in there, or any saved stories that we might have. And the other option, sometimes you'll see a sort of like a create button here, which Snapchat has templates that they will help you to make your ad. So if you see that, definitely utilize something like that. But if you want to create your own custom ad, then I would recommend doing it on something like Canva. So let me just pull up Canva here. And on Canva, if you just type in Snapchat into the search bar, and this is free, they do have some paid options as well, but there's a lot of free ones. You can go through and find one that maybe perhaps we like this one here, and we can customize this template. And all I have to do here is I can delete that photo, and I can just very quickly, let's say I want to upload my own photo here, and I'm going to drop that in there just like that. And now I can change up the text here. So we'll call it Philly's #1 law firm. And maybe we'll change some of the background here, right? And let's say maybe Philly's #1, let's say injury law firm. We can make this font a little bit smaller, just like that. Okay, and so for this example, I'm just going to say this is good enough for us, but I would recommend spending a little bit more time making it a little bit more pretty. But once you've created that on Canva, you can just go up, click share, and then download it. Make sure it's either as a PNG or a JPEG when you were uploading this photo. So I'm going to click on download here, and then I'm going to go back to Snapchat, to the ads platform. And now I can just click on upload, and I can upload that ad that we just created in Canva, and there it is. So this is going to be one of our first ads. We can change the text down here, so we can have it to be either sign up, but because this is our injury law firm, we're going to change this to perhaps maybe it's going to be request appointment, right? And so when they click on request appointment, it's going to take them to a form. So now we're going to have to fill out the form details. Now, this might be a little bit different for you depending on what type of ad you are running, because we are looking for leads. They're filling out a form, right? If you're going for other things like exposure or you're going for app downloads, this might look a little bit different, but the idea is still going to be pretty similar, where you have the ad and then you have when they click the button where it actually takes them to. So for filling out the form, let's just put in some info here for the law firm, and we want to keep this as simple as possible, because if you have it really complicated and you make them fill out like a lot of different things and there's multiple pages, you're going to lose people. People have very short attention spans these days. So the goal here is just capture their email or capture their phone number and some really basic info like their name, and then move on. And then, just capture it that way, and then you can reach out to them at some point. Okay. So let me just put some info in here. So form name. Okay, so I just put in a description here for it, and then we can add fields. We have first name, last name, email. Maybe we want their phone number as well. We can add that there, but remember, keep it pretty simple. If you have a privacy policy, you're going to want to link that there as well. Sometimes you're going to need that when you're running ads. That's important. And then also custom questions. If you want to add more questions in here, you want to ask them, to basically have like a multi-select, like, do you have any of these? Does any of this fit you? Then you can add that in there. We can change the form design so it's not just white here. We can change our logo. We can upload basically an image header as well if we want up top here. So let me just see if we can find one. Okay, so I just uploaded a photo there for that. And then if we need any type of disclosures on here, make sure you put that in there as well. I'm going to skip over that right now just for the purpose of this video here. And then we also have one issue here. We need to have a privacy policy URL. So let me just put that in there right now. All right, and then we have our delivery set to active, and then we're going to click on review and publish. All right, so we are almost ready to go with our first ad. Now, all we have to do is review and publish. So they're going to summarize all the information here. Make sure you read this over, make sure everything looks correct. And then you can scroll down, enter your business address and your payment details in the bottom section here, and then click on Publish Campaign in the bottom right corner. Now, I want to show you something very important here, and it's going to be over in the upper left-hand corner. You'll see when we have Create Ads right here, if you just click on this, it's going to open up a drop-down menu with tons of different options and things that I really recommend you look over, read into each one of these different categories so that you can get to know the platform, the Ads Manager platform. I would say overall, honestly, running ads on Snapchat is actually easier than running it on most other platforms. Don't even get me started with Facebook ads or Google ads. They can be really complicated. I think Snapchat does a great job of making this as easy as possible while still giving you lots of different options and features to create the perfect ad. All right, and then we can go to look at something like managing ads. This will show us the amount of money that we're spending, the amount of impressions and click-through rate that we're getting on our ads. And then another feature is if we go on to create video, and we click on that, it's actually going to give us options for creating new types of ads. They have templates available for us. Okay, so we can click on customize a video template. And what they have here for us is they actually have a lot of different templates that are already pre-created that we can just put in our images or our videos inside of this to make it a video. And this is honestly pretty cool. So like, for example, here's the podium one, right? Maybe I can just click on this and I can enter some of our graphics in here, some of our images in here, and then have the call to action. So, they actually have like a whole ad generation features inside of the platform that I think you should mess around with and see what you could do with it. And yeah, so I just wanted to make you aware of that. That is in the creative tab here when you go to the upper left corner. And then also we can look at things like reports and audience insights. As you start to gather data from running your first ad, you will want to spend some time inside of there. So that's the basics of running ads on Snapchat. I hope you found this video to be of some use. Don't forget to go ahead down in the description below and click on the link so you can get those ad credits and get up and running on Snapchat ads. So it is an affiliate link as well, so it helps support the channel when you sign up using that link. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section, or you can try to message me on something like Instagram. I try my best to respond to people if you're having any issues. I can't promise because sometimes I get overwhelmed by a lot of people asking questions, but I will try my best if I have some free time to answer some questions that people might have. So thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to check out other ads videos on this channel. Subscribe so you don't miss more videos, and I'll see everybody sometime in the future.